All right. We are live, kids. Howdy ho. We got some finishing touches to put on this guy, which we'll do here shortly. And, oops. Okay. What is, yep, nope, not what I meant. Not what I meant. Okay. How's it going, Simon? Hey. I recognize you from my comments section. How you doing? I'm trying to also go live on TikTok. Oh yeah. So this guy right here, let me see if I can get it to focus. This guy is, he's supposed to be like a third-party version of a blood angel, actually. Daka makes these guys. And I'm not really a fan of the actual models because they have models that match this. But I did like the dead guy versions that they made. So I grabbed those off of Etsy a while back. Thought I just needed to like put them to use. So that's what he's doing on there. We gotta, let's see. I gotta get, how's this gonna work? We're trying to double box tonight. Dude, that's gonna be weird. Has anybody ever done double boxing before? Does anybody know what I mean? Back in the day, I remember. What? In World of Warcraft, you get multiple accounts and you log into them in multiple windows. Oh, that is true, Simon. You're right. That is in line with chaos, actually. That is pretty well in line with chaos. Okay, what is TikTok asking me to do here? This is frustrating. What's going on? Oh yeah, you can do that. Go ahead. Ah, I gotta move my lighting. But yeah. All right. I think we should be good. Let's try not to knock things over. Hey, it's Wart. He came back. What's going on here? Oh, it's on the button. There we go. That makes sense. All right. And my other phone crashed. Lovely. All right. Well, YouTube's live, so I'm good. Did you have an exam or something? I think you mentioned that last night. Oh, you passed. You're welcome. You're welcome. I must have helped. I'm going to take credit. Okay. Sweet. And we're live here on TikTok too. Sweet. Alrighty. She's almost done. We're like really close. We're really close to being finished with this one. And then I'm gonna move on to the next one. Oh, you cheated. How about that? Slanesh. You see how you see they aren't technically Space Marines, so I can do whatever I want. They voluntary gene crafted the yes. Slanesh works in mysterious ways. Of course, I got to get the gloves on here. Read in Joker voice like there's no rules against the Pokemon. Oh man, what is this thing doing to me? I wore gloves in the first video, and now I feel like I have to wear them every time. I don't know that I actually do, though. Yes, wart, indeed. Okay. Yeah, we've got a couple little spots on this plasma ball. We've got a... it's gonna be the wart puns all night, isn't it? Yes, I did wart gloves. What are we doing? Can I get that with the tweezers? See, I really should have done this before I painted there, but I didn't notice it. That's my excuse. That's what I'm telling myself. Yeah. Oh man. See, there are supports that were right there when this thing printed, and I didn't even see them. And now, you know, there they are. How's it going, guys? We are live on YouTube and TikTok because I'm apparently feeling really ambitious tonight. And we got to get this thing finished. Yeah, this is something where I don't think that this is going to, like, it's one of those things. If I don't fix this, it's going to be a problem. It's not going to look that great if it's not fixed. Let's see. The lighting for TikTok is not that great. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see if I can fix that. No, that didn't really help. YouTube's not too bad. Tesseract Glow. Would go crazy with that? Oh, yes, it would. I, however, am going with Plasma Coil Blue. That's what we're going to be putting on this ball of plasma. So, after I drop it. Tell me, guys, real quick here, which sticker do we need to add to the table? I'm thinking Electric Lime or Neptune Glow. But, yeah. You vote, I guess, in the chat. Oh, Wicked Pink is pretty cool. We got to vote for Deep Gray here. Monsieur Reaper. I haven't said your username because up until this point, you were here last night, I know, but go deep into painting models. Hey, that's a good point. I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah. Yeah, what the heck? Okay, Deep Gray it is. Let's slap it on here. Let's put it, where's a funny place to put it? Right there. There we go. We got a sticker on there now. Sweet. Oh no, dude, don't worry about it. I just got these stickers. If you're wondering like what this is all about, if you're new to the channel, I just got these yesterday in my Fanatic set that I got. And yeah, I decided to throw some stickers on the table, because why not? Looks like we got some peeps over on TikTok, a few of you here on YouTube. What's going to be the best tool? I think, in all honesty, we're going to have to go hobby knife. But where is the hobby knife? Oh, there it is. It was hiding from me. Yeah. Yep. And everything's a mess, as usual. Let's see. Could I move my lighting? I could, or I could move the camera. It's not ideal. You know what I do have, though? I've got this. This can give us some light from that side. That should be a little better now. From that angle. Yeah, that's not bad. That works. And we got light coming from above. We got light coming from this way. It's magic. Yes, it will be a new tradition, Simon. I guess I'm just gonna have to continue getting more stickers. They don't necessarily have to be Army Painter stickers, but every live stream will just put a new sticker onto the table. This thing is just a piece of cardboard from a bamboo, what is it? It's like a treadmill writing desk that I use. And I'm like, that's a nice big piece of cardboard. And so I decided, hey, I'm just gonna use this on my hobby desk and get it all messy. This right here, some of you might be able to see it, like this spot here, and there's some more like that way, like down here. On YouTube, you guys can definitely see it. All of that silver right there was when a bottle of, what was it? My broadsword silver exploded on me. Like literally exploded all over the table. That was not fun. All right. So, like always, this is something that I should have caught earlier on. But better Nate than Lever, I always say. And as the Arbiter in a wheelchair, as Master Chief's vehicle, and he says something stupid and then drives off a cliff. Is that the brain rot that these kids are into these days? I'm an old man. I have perused Halo YouTube, and I have not seen this content that you speak of, sir. So, it's OG brain rot. Huh. I must not be looking in the right place. That must be it. I did a really good job getting the supports off of everything except the ball of plasma. So like the one place where it matters most, right? Like you'd think like that would be the thing that I would pay the most attention to. But apparently not. And it's gonna look ugly for a minute. That's just the way it goes. Oh, Special Ed Master Chief claims that birds are not real. Well, they aren't real, right? I mean, people have pet birds. Although I guess the claim is not that it's those birds that aren't real. It's not that all birds aren't real, right? Like, I haven't really looked into this. Cover your ears, guys. I'll try not to make it too loud. All right. That wasn't too bad. That was not too bad. And if your name is Matt White, you have won today's prize. Folks, anybody named Matt White? I didn't think so. That joke is going to get really old. Really fast. But you know what other paint colors out there would work as names? thinking. Well, hey, if you never lose, you never lose, right? That's the whole point. I could, you're right. Sandpaper actually could fit in there. Let me think about that for a second. Let me take a closer look. It's not going to be a perfect surface no matter what I do. There weren't that many of them. I think that might be overkill. But if there were more of them, I definitely would do that. Lead Belcher. Hey, that's a... Gosh. The wife and I are trying for another. I might have to steal that one from you. That's a good one. That's a good... Who name your kid Lead Belcher? I don't know. I can't think of any others. But last night we made some good progress on this thing. I finished all the hazard stripes. That was interesting. That was an educational experience. I kind of realized there why I never want to do Iron Warriors. However, toward the end, it paid off. A little dry brushing with some metallics actually made it look not like crap. So, in fact, it made it look pretty nice. And I was like kicking myself because the whole time I was trying to talk myself out of the hazard stripes. No, I did not use masking tape, actually. Good question, though. And I'm happy to talk about it. So the hazard stripes on this are actually raised. I don't know how well you can see it. But they're actually raised on the this 3D print. That's just how they are. Like, I didn't do that myself. Like, you can see the shadows there pretty well, I think, on that side right there. So... And the original model itself had the hazard stripes in the 3D render that they showed that was fully colorized. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let's try hazard stripes. And it was an excuse for me to buy more paint, so why not? And it turned out all right. There's a couple imperfections here or there, but I'm trying to play this off as though this has been a derelict kind of... This thing has been around for a long time. And so it's not in the best shape, if you will. So yeah, no masking tape was required. Yeah. Warhammer is a very good excuse to buy paint. I can't think of very many better excuses to buy paint. I mean, there are plenty more. Like, you bought a new house... But, who's doing that these days? Yeah, no, the designer actually made an entire, series of these things. And they all kind of have the same sort of theme going. I think they also have the hazard stripes, too. Let's see how well I did here. This is probably... Whatever. I was using this broad brush last night because I wanted it to be nice and even. Yes, battle damage is the answer to everything. In this case, a metallic dry brush does the job. Did the job pretty well. At least from where I'm standing. I mean, don't you paint your name on that seat every time you sit on it? Or do you not lift that hard to the point where you sweat? Just curious. I'm giving you a hard time. I guess if you go to a busy gym, that would make sense. My gym is not particularly busy. Suburbs during the day, so not too bad. Oh, it's good paint. Don't worry. I don't know that I was worried. I was just more curious. Okay. I really don't want any of those dark spots showing through when I come back with the plasma coil. Painting fire. Ooh, specifically green. I've got something close to that. It's not exactly fire. Where did I put that? 1 second. 1 second. Where did I put it? Ah, rats. I'm not sure where that model is. If you watch on the channel, I think I've got a couple videos where I'm doing the base on a psychophage. And I used speed paint on that. Specifically, hey, I got it on the first try too. Ghillie Doo. This is the color that I used. And if you look at that, it looks like I used like 2 or 3 different shades of green. It's literally just Ghillie Doo. And so I painted all of the like the plumes of smoke coming out of the back of the psychophage, painted them all white. Did 1 coat of Ghillie Doo. Then I came back with white and painted like the top again. Kind of a medium dry brushing, if you will. Ghillie Doo again, and then a very, very light, like just getting the tops of it. So that the Ghillie Doo was actually in 3 layers, and that created basically 3 different shades of green. Granted, it wasn't fire, but no, yeah, Simon, I suck at highlighting too. Myself, I don't really edge highlight, even though I like to joke about it. But I do like dry brushing. I just do not have the time. I'm already kind of a perfectionist as it is, and if I started to do edge highlighting, I would drive myself insane. Warp Lightning on top of white. I think I believe that's a Citadel color. I am not really super familiar with Citadel's line outside of like the colors I use for my Blood Angels. Oh, nice! You got some glass. That's awesome. That's awesome. That could have sounded I don't know, bad. Hey, the Horde liked the live on TikTok. How's it going, man? Over there, we are live on TikTok and YouTube, by the way. So if you hear me talking to people and you can't see them in the chat, they're on the other platform. It's just the way it is. So you used one of my videos to con your mom into getting the glass, and you got Uhu glue. Nice. Nice. Sweet. No, the glass, yeah, that stuff was a game changer and thankfully I figured it out kind of early on. Honestly, I don't know what more I want to really do with this thing outside of painting the plasma coil thing. I think I'm I think once that's done, I'm gonna set this aside, and then I might come back to it. I don't know, but it feels like it's at that stage of doneness that's good enough. Oh yeah, that would be great for world eaters. It probably would be good for blood angels too. But for my blood angels, I just do weird stuff on the eyes. So this guy will be next. If we're gonna stay on the terrain theme, an objective marker. Oh yeah, we got some likes on the YouTube live stream. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, if you're here, please give it a like. I appreciate it. It helps out. The stream on YouTube last night got a total of like 2,700 views over the course of the 3 hours. So that was pretty awesome. But so there's the. I mean, we could go in on this. This could be fun. I also have some generic scatter terrain. Let me set this aside. Got these guys here. These are intended to be a matching set with this guy. And so they're kind of made the same way. I did a couple unique little things with each of them. I've had these lying around for a while. Although I honestly did them a little differently than I did this one. So I don't know if they're going to turn out exactly the same or not. We shall see. But yeah, you guys you're in here talking heresy, and I don't know. Like I'm bumping the table now. Yeah, the sculpt on the Master of Possessions. I don't have an opinion on that one, I gotta say. Now, if you ask me my opinion on Blood Angels or Space Wolves, I'd have something to say. All right. I think we're gonna go here. This is a simple place to start. All right, and we're gonna break out the cheapo acrylics for the grass. I think that's the order I did it in last time, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Well, you know, as a young man, anger is a very attractive emotion. I can understand that. Whoa. We'll just get some happy little grass here. And of course, inevitably, there's going to be some stuff that flecks off. Oh, that's interesting. The skull mask, yeah. I will have to look that model up. Is it the one that looks like it's got like the goat horns or something? Like it's the equivalent of a librarian? Is that what it is? Because then I think I know what you're talking about. I just don't know the names of everything when it comes to chaos. Every like the stream gets is one wart. Oh no, I totally get that. What you're saying. But you're not actually an angry person, but like corn is. They did what? Is it like, you know, in Northern Europe, like the Norse countries that are relatively peaceful? That's where all like the most violent black metal comes from. Like all these like terrible horror stories. Hey, dream big, build small. How's it going? In the TikTok live, we are painting some objective markers with some custom terrain on them. This is the most exciting part. We got into a deep discussion last night about Halo. And the chat on YouTube had me saying wart, wart, wart all night. One person in particular. It's kind of a fun time. Space Marines are in vogue these days, man. I mean, not Halo, not so much itself anymore. Like, Halo did a lot of the groundwork, especially for millennials, right? But now you've got Helldivers. And then, of course, Space Marine 2 came out. Like, perfect timing, man. I feel like so many people joined the hobby after that. Hey, thanks for the comment, the compliment, I should say. Dream big. It is a work in progress. We're just literally just getting started after the priming step. Oh, Monsieur Reaper, you swear it wasn't Space Marine 2 that got you into 40K? Well, hey, I'm not really one to talk either. I got into 40K. It was before Space Marine 2, but it's only been like just over a year. That's how long I've been in the hobby. So not all that long, to be honest with you. Well, and honestly, what laid the groundwork for Halo, I've got to say, as somebody who played the game, was probably StarCraft. StarCraft laid the groundwork. And you want to know something funny about StarCraft? Because a lot of people see StarCraft, which of course is Blizzard, and they see Warcraft and World of Warcraft, and they go, oh, like, that's like Warhammer copied and pasted that, didn't they? Well, actually, from what I understand, the deep lore is that it's the other way around. Oh, sweet. Dream big. You're a diorama artist and model builder that dabbles in tabletop games. Yeah. I know I checked out your channel earlier. I think it was over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I think you got some pretty impressive stuff on there, if I remember right. I don't have it in front of me, so forgive me. I have actually wanted to do a diorama. I mean, this is kind of like that, I suppose. I mean, without getting my brush and my paint here, we've got this turret. We've got this dude here who's having a really bad day, right? We're kind of telling a story here, I suppose, you could say. So it's kind of like part diorama, but it's functional. Let's see. Yep, Simon, you're exactly right. You beat me to it. Blizzard was talking with Games Workshop about making an RTS, and Games Workshop eventually backed out, from what I understand, and Blizzard went ahead and made the game anyway, and that's how we got StarCraft. So occasionally I'll see somebody who thinks, because especially if you live here in the U.S. and you grew up and you played StarCraft as a young man or a kid, you would think that, oh no, StarCraft came first, and then Warhammer came along and copied them, because at the time in the U.S., Warhammer was not as big, not as visible. But that would actually be Incorrect. So, funny thing. So yeah. So in a roundabout sort of way, Warhammer, specifically 40K, is actually the inspiration for itself. Well, the inspiration for the current Space Marine craze. Because you went from Warhammer, which existed before StarCraft, then StarCraft, then you have Halo, which also revolutionizes like a totally different style of gameplay. And then everything that comes after that, Helldivers now and Space Marine 2, it kind of laid the groundwork for all of that, in my opinion. Right. No, you're right. I think they were pretty far along by the time Games Workshop pulled the plug on their end, on the IP. And obviously the Zerg, we all know the Zerg were supposed to be Tyranids. The Protoss, though, man. Like, they're not exactly Tau. They're not exactly Tau, really. I don't know what they would be. Hey, Dream Big, thanks for sharing the live on TikTok. I appreciate it. Thanks for the love. We gotta paint these rocks now, guys. I like to paint them gray first. Whoa. I need to paint World Eaters. Yep, I do. But once I'm done with all the other stuff I've got to paint, I will probably paint Karn. I will tell you that. I will probably paint Karn at some point. And then from there, we'll see. I cannot make any promises beyond that. Let's do a nice overbrushing on these guys. Just knock them out here real quick. I hope that looks good on both streams here. I'm trying to do double duty. No, yeah, Simon, you're right. The Tau weren't even fleshed out at that time. So I wonder, it would have been really interesting to see, like, what if Games Workshop didn't pull the plug and the Protoss today would now be in 40K? Like, that would be crazy. Who did that 8-bound Space Wolves kit bash? I know you're mentioning that, and I saw there was, what channel is that did that? There's so many channels out there that do good kit bashes, and I'm like, or were they Chaos? What was it? I can't remember the context of what it was. It was the space, it was like Dornian Heresy, maybe, and the Space Wolves were, I don't know, Chaos Corrupted or something like that. I don't know. I can't recall. Well, thank you, Simon. Because that's going to keep me awake at night. Oi. Yeah, get that paint in there. At this stage, it doesn't matter if it looks flat. This is going to get a nice wash. That's one thing I had to learn, like early on, was that anything you're painting, it's going to go through stages and it's going to look ugly for a little while. Or in my case, you know, it maybe looks ugly even when you're done, but I digress. The thoughts of harm coming to me, I don't know. You know, here's the thing. If you're World Eaters, you know, Khorne cares not from where the blood flows. I don't think Khorne stays up at night worrying about Angron that much. Definitely more than the Emperor did. I think that's canon. Well, yeah, no, that's true. Well, I mean, if he can't really die, if he just comes back, then why are we worried about any harm coming to him? Ah, see, isn't the Emperor's sword capable of doing something like that? I don't know. Lore experts in the chat, what is it that can actually banish a demon Primarch for good? I believe it is the sword of the Emperor, but maybe I am mistaken. I could be mistaken about that. Okay. I've done about as much as I can do with this guy. So I need to go to a smaller brush to get into some of those nooks and crannies. What are we doing? Right here. Wow. Excuse me. And right there too. If it was the Chaos Sword that Horus picked up, that would be pretty ironic. Although I believe that the Emperor, in their final battle, annihilated him with his blade. That's from what I understand. That's what it was. Oh, Simon, you have returned. Yes, he did it. The Emperor did kill Horus, although there is a little bit of kind of a gray area there because of something that the Emperor said at the time and what it could imply, but yeah. Tabletop time. Yes, that was like on the tip of my tongue, too. Thank you, Simon. They do some interesting stuff. They do some interest. I've seen some of their. They recently did a video about those new Thousand Suns automatons, trying to fix them. I personally think, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. The new, they look like Egyptian looking like bird robots, essentially. I don't mind them personally. They're all right. I think though, and what they kind of came to, the determination they came to in the video was that it was just the paint scheme on the box that just makes them look kind of dumb, and you maybe want to try to repose them a little bit. Ah, Monsieur Reaper, you must sleep. Last night you were up late. But you got to go to bed. I totally get it. No problem. Thank you for all the likes, guys, and for checking out the live stream. Whether you're on TikTok or YouTube, I appreciate it. I do not pretend to be the best painter in the world. So, maybe if you like watching an amateur do it, here you go. Oh, Simon, you do Necrons. Wait. Hold, I got to reread that again. Inspiration for your Necron Chaos Marines. Yeah, didn't they do something? What, they did a video that was kind of like that. Because in the Dornian Heresy, the Iron Hands I don't believe they necessarily like fully fall to chaos, but they begin worshiping or serving that Necron dragon thing. Is that right? Maybe I'm misremembering. I'm not up to date on all of my Dornian heresy, history. I think I had to retake that class. Wart, Monsieur Reaper. Have a good one. Yep. No, yeah, this Thousand Suns did need something else in their range, and it does kind of feel like they just. I don't know. It's interesting. Could have been worse. I do like that they are clearly Egyptian themed, though. I will say that. Yes, they went. The Iron Hands went down the whole Necron route when it came to the Dornian heresy, which honestly sounds dope. I don't. Is that? Let's see. Your Necron idea was separate from the Dornian heresy. I was going to ask. Yeah, the Iron Hands are a really good fit for it. If I'm being honest with you, if I were going to do Iron Hands, I would have to do Dornian Heresy Iron Hands. There are just too many good ideas in the Dornian Heresy to ignore. Oh, yeah. Yep. Ooh, shiny. Yeah, that's pretty much them to a T. There was I'm kind of a sucker for like people who come up with their own, not for the people necessarily, although I don't know, maybe I haven't gotten to know you yet, but but for the like the custom chapters and stuff that people come up with. Obviously, like I love the Blood Angels for sure. There's some of the actual factions that I do enjoy, but people get creative, and I think it's pretty neat. I was going somewhere with that, and I don't know what I kind of dropped it. Yes, the green glow is like necessary, because otherwise, like just black and kind of general metallics, like they would be an easy army to paint. That's for sure. They would definitely be an easy army, but because it'd be simple, get a really invest in some really good black primer, go for the good stuff, and dry brush metallics, and that's like you're 90% of the way there. But adding that green glow would give them so much more character. There are a couple of little pebbles in here that I'm forcing myself to paint gray. I cannot leave those alone. Let's see. Where are we? Raven Guard successors. See, Raven Guard successors, I think, are actually more interesting than Raven Guard, from what I've seen. Lost looking for Corvus Corax in the warp. There's an interesting storyline. Nice. Yeah, I could see that. You got some interesting things to work with there. And isn't Corvus Corax, isn't the whole point here that he's like basically a loyalist demon Primarch? In like canon? I do not keep up on my boy Corvus. Let's see. Yeah, Bird Demon Loyalist. Although I've got to say, I don't know if anybody else notices this, but if you look at Rabute Gilliman's armor, the, you know, what am I trying to say? The trim on that armor looks very Chaos inspired to me personally. I have always been a fan of the theory that there are actually 5 Chaos gods, and that the Emperor was the 5th one. The Chaos god of order, like order run rampant. I don't know that that's actually considered canon or not, but that would, if that were the case, you know. Oh, well, it's Lorgar too. Like anybody can beat up Lorgar. I'm pretty sure. Lorgar is at the bottom of the pack as far as his brothers are concerned. But yeah. Yeah, okay, so you see it too, Simon. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Because not that it, you know, I don't know. He would be fun to convert into Chaos though. Do a Chaos Gilliman. And it'd be so easy. It's like begging for it. Okay. I've done enough rocks. We need to let this dry for a second. Or do we? No, I think we can go in Blood Angels Red on here. Yeah. What would you convert him into Abaddon, or what would you do with him? I'm curious. Oh yes, the fire sword. That technically is the sword of the Emperor, though. I believe. So now I'm torn here as to whether or not I'm going to paint this thing red or blue. So I think, Simon, you're here, so I'll ask you. So this one's red, right? I'm thinking I might go blue on this guy. He would be a great Demon Primarch. He can honestly be converted into a few different, you know, I don't know, depending on how you do it. I do like the red. It does match the aesthetic quite a lot. But like, oh, red or blue? Should we do red or blue? Right? That's the question. That's the question. Paint it matching and have the Terminator be standing out. Jonathan on YouTube says red. Okay. All right. You know what? The people have spoken. So, and the Terminator. Hey, that's a good point. We could make the Terminator a different color. How's it going, Jonathan? From YouTube? From YouTube land? How are we doing over here on TikTok, guys? I think one of you who might be watching. Either way, hey, you're here. That's cool. Jonathan, we are painting an objective marker. That's what this is. This is a terrain objective marker. I'll do a quick recap here in case you're new to the channel. This is the first one I made. This is part of a toy truck. I turned this into an objective marker, added a whole bunch of rocks to it. I'm like, hey, that's neat. It's less than 2 inches, so models can move over it. But I put a bunch of rocks on there, and that's maybe not the best for like models to like, I don't know, it's okay. You know, whatever. But it's also too small. That's what she said. So I had to get some bigger wooden discs, and I made this guy. So this is an objective marker. And it also tells a little story. So we've got this plasma generator, and we've got this wounded blood angel here, who is either you're going to rescue him or you're swooping in to finish the job. One or the other is the idea. So not everybody's cup of tea necessarily when it comes to like objective markers. I know a lot of competitive players just would rather slap down a neoprene mat, and I totally get that. But yeah. Thanks, Jonathan. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. If we're gonna make this red, yeah, we should make him stand out. Are we thinking dark angels? I don't know if I have a good green for that. No, I do have. I mean, I've got some. Well, this is lizard green. I don't know what this would look like, but we could go green. That would definitely stand out. Although there's the grass too. That or maybe he should be blue. Maybe he should be blue. That might be better. You kit bashed a Hellbrute with some dinosaur toys, like fossil bits. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to see that. I don't know where you would post it. I guess you could post it on YouTube and tag me in it. I would like to see that. Green and red will clash. Yeah. Black would be complementary and blue would be fine. No, you have a good point there. So Beowulf blue would be probably what I would go in with. Probably have to do a little bit of dry brushing on him. Black wouldn't be bad though. Black could be interpreted as, you know, a number of different legions. We can let that idea percolate a little bit here while we go in with some contrast paint on this guy. Let's see what's going to be a good. You know, I'm going to grab a dry one. Yeah, here, this guy will work. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. All right. Now I am going to stay away. I don't have a whole lot of this left. I'm going to stay away from this like top part because I think I'm going to, I don't know. I might make that more metallics. So what I did on the last one, very simply, Blood Angels red, give a nice dark undertone. We come in with Mephiston red, and then we dry brush some gunmetal on top. That's the whole idea. Did you mean to say bad boys? Because I think you said dad boys. Or maybe you meant dad boys. I don't know. I don't know, Simon. Oh, sad boy. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, I don't know how you would typo dad out of bad, but that makes more sense. I see where you were going with that. Yes, could be Raven Guard. I like black. Black would work. We can go with black. And you can kind of interpret it how you want, I suppose. But, oh yes. Everybody loves the Lamenters. Either you love them, or you love to make fun of them. I don't think anybody hates the Lamenters. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that. I'm sure somebody does, but who knows? How's it going over there on TikTok? What the Dillio has joined us. What is the Dillio over there on TikTok? On TikTok land. Monsieur Reaper, you've returned to bring us more brain rot, I assume. The funniest thing happened to me. I'm a few years away from 40, so not that old. You know what I mean? Like 40 used to be old, now it's not anymore. And the funniest thing happened to me, my son came home and started saying words that I didn't know. and telling me how, like, you know, if you say those words at school, you get in trouble. And like, you know, skibbity this and Rizzler that. And like, what? Like, it can't be that bad. Is it that bad that because when I was a kid, it was like Magic cards and Pokemon cards were banned at school and you couldn't bring knives. But now the words are banned? The words the kids made up are banned. I don't know. No, you're right, Simon. The Lamenters are kind of like orcs. Either you like them or you hate them, kind of one way or the other. Oh, did this thing die on me? My lighting? No, it just turned off. I guess it had a timer on it. There we go. Sorry, TikTok folks. That was probably why it didn't look so good for you guys over there. Hello, user 53888522878. How's it going? We are painting a terrain objective marker. Oh my gosh. And on YouTube, we are full brain rot now, I suppose. That's what it seems like to me. That's what you get for going live on YouTube in 2025. It could be worse. Could be worse. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna stay away from the top bit here. Maybe, I think. Ah, it turned off again. I don't know why that is. Because it was doing fine just a bit ago. What's the matter? Oh, did it die? No, it died. Okay. That's why the light died. Okay, it needs to be charged. Alrighty. Okay. That's coming along. Maybe we need to come in with some black here so those metallic dry brush doesn't look too weird. The primer also missed a few spots. Oh, you're stingy, Simon? No, I get that. It's really just the best color I have for the job here, to be quite honest with you. Otherwise, yeah, I would agree with you. I would prefer to use something else. But just to kind of get the deep red color that I was looking for as the base coat, you know, I'm trying to be fancy instead of just doing things really simple. But and we will be adding a wash to this as well. I think, kids, it's time to paint the plasma ball. I like painting balls. And at this one, okay, yeah, shake well, good. Some of them are not supposed to shake well. Some of them you are. All right. Let's see how this goes. I have a feeling it's going to take a few coats, so we're just going to try to put the first one on here. Let's get a nice broad brush here, like we did earlier. And, ooh, she's thirsty. Hey, Shah on TikTok, how's it going? A shake weight mixer. I don't know. GW would make that, though. That seems in line with... Okay. Bristles are a little stiff. Okay, let's flex those out a little bit. This is a cheapo brush, so it doesn't really matter how I treat it. Ooh, I see a problem, though. I think we're going to have to go this way. Because otherwise gravity is gonna ruin this for me. Whoa. Okay, that was a lot right there. I am totally ruining the lighting here, aren't I? That's a little better. Probably looks weird. Imagine people joining the stream and seeing this like upside down thing in their face. They're like, what am I looking at? Okay. So Simon, you used blood for the blood god and mixed in green to make Nurgle blood. Ooh. No, that sounds about right. Let's try to get some capillary action here. Okay. I maybe have set myself up for failure here. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not looking particularly even right there. Let's see if I can fix that. And of course, I'm like spinning the thing around, just trying to find a way where I can see it and you can see it. You lost your Tesseract glow. It's in your school coat pocket. I don't know. I don't know why you'd have that in your coat pocket. Oh. Oops. Really, TikTok? TikTok is making me verify that I'm live? Okay, yeah, I'm live. No, it is not ribbed, Simon. That's a good question. This is like supposed to be like a raw ball of plasma. So this first coat may not be perfect, and that's totally fine. It's probably going to take a couple coats to get a smooth look to it. I might have to come back and do some highlights. Ooh, see, there's a lot of pooling right there that I was not intending to have happen. Hey, Jonathan, that sounds like a good idea. I've got 3 kids. They could mix a lot of paint for me. Oh no, Simon, you're right. Capillary action is in the recesses. There's just there's this kind of little recess right here where the plasma ball in this cap that's on top of it. That's what I was talking about. Sometimes I just say words that don't make sense. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna make this worse if I keep messing with it. All right, I think we need to set that aside for now. And come back to this guy. Yeah, that's kind of helping. To put it upside down a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. We'll just figure it out. Okay. I'm going to just be in denial and pretend that that's not going to become weird if I leave it off to the side. Okay. Now here, I really do have to get... Oop, wrong one. Into the recesses. What do we got? Grim black. There we go. No, you're right, actually. If it looks a little messy, it will kind of give it that swirly effect. That's a good point. Whoa. Squirting out there. That's a lot, but I always find that I take too little. And this is a very thirsty part of the model. So yes, more speed paint. This is gonna get covered up with metallics. This is just gonna be an easy first step. Oh, you see, yep, you would know, wouldn't you? So it's a good thing that you're here. It's a good thing that you're here to let me know that, because that's probably what I'm going to try to do to the best of my ability. This is not going to look particularly perfect, but that is okay. Nah. Metallics will fix it all later. There we go. Oh my gosh. That sounds traumatic, Simon. At least it was a resin printed model and not plastic. I don't know if that's any kind of consolation. I guess it's the paint you were really upset about, which I get. Yep. No, my son, when he paints, he uses some of my Mephiston Red, and sometimes it's like, hey, bud, you know, you don't have to cover the entire brush with Mephiston Red. You just need to get it on the end. The paint goes on the end of the brush. That's where the paint goes, is on the end of the brush. And yeah, but it is what it is. He enjoys it. I'm not too worried about it. It's just paint. I can buy more. But yeah. She lost unthinned metallic privileges. Yeah, I don't really thin my paints at all. I have not come across a scenario where I felt truly compelled to do so. That doesn't mean that I shouldn't do it. I'm not suggesting that as advice. Part of it is probably because I also use, if there's something where like I would need a thinner paint, I would maybe use a contrast instead. But that's just me. Oh yes, the ferrule. That's the part you're talking, the ferrule. That's the part of the brush where the bristles meet the metal. And honestly, this brush is kind of getting abused right now, if I'm being honest, because you can, I don't know how well you can see, but that it's getting very close to the ferrule here. For one, it's speed paint, so it's easier to get out. But yeah, sometimes when my son paints, it is like all the way up past the ferrule, and the bristles are completely covered, and then some. And it's a little it's a little heart-wrenching. But he enjoys it. He has fun. Right. No, yeah, you want to keep any acrylic that isn't a speed paint as far away from the ferrule as you can. Speed paints just get sucked up, so this brush just sucks all this up. I'm only dipping the tip of the brush, but it just soaks it in. All right, so I feel like that's a good start there to that part. And let's check in on this plasma ball. Yeah, that's interesting, Jonathan. I don't use a whole lot of Citadel paints, so maybe that's why I haven't had to thin. It's not looking bad so far. We're definitely getting a ring of blue at the bottom, but I'm gonna just kind of lean into that a little bit, I think, instead of trying to resist it. It needs to dry a little bit more before we move on. Oi. Oh, that's too bad. Somebody named I Like Cows was in the TikTok stream, and then they left. I'm a cow. Or I could be a cow. Hey, Mikey. Yes. Simon, that's right. That is a good place to do a freehand. You are correct. All right, now let's check here. Yeah, we're still drying a little bit. We can pay some attention to this guy a little bit. So we're going in with black. The speed paint's probably not gonna give us enough coverage on there. Where did I, geez. Spinning around and oh, duh, it's right there. One thing I learned, and I guess I get to share this teeny tidbit of knowledge, different metallic paints, like the metallic aspect of them can vary because they add the mica to it. And so in some cases, the mica is actually silver in color. So it actually would look like this. It's actually like glittery silver, even if it's colored. So like, for example, and I don't know that this is for a fact true, but say you've got this red one. There's a good chance that they just took silver and added red pigment to it, but the metallics are actually still silver. And if you thin them out, you might actually wash out some of the color on colored metallics. So keep that in mind, I guess. I just learned that yesterday. You got to learn something new every day, kids. That's how you stay young. Or that's what they say. No, Simon, you're right. Any little hand wobble will not matter because it will just look organic. It'll look like pulsing energy already. Okay, this little guy can work for me. Yeah, nah. On the last guy, I didn't go too hard on the details. In fact, I kind of phoned it in a little bit. Yeah, we went in with Blood Angels Red, and then I dry brushed some gold in a few places, and we put some blood technical paint on there. But yeah, I did not go nitty gritty on all the details. on that one, for sure. Yeah, it could. It could. I haven't thinned them, but I imagine that could. All right, let's get in here. And paint this armor black. And then we'll come back and I'm gonna maybe try to stay away from the guts a little bit that are coming out here of the bottom. Loyalist if they had trim. Well, I mean, there are some. Well, it depends on the unit, I guess. There are some that have more detail, I guess I would say. They don't really have the trim that Chaos has, do they? But certain models can definitely have more details on them. That's for sure. Whoa. Hey, we've got 4 likes here on YouTube. That's cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I did not realize just how many views a stream like this could get on YouTube. I did this last night. Granted, it was a Sunday night, so that's probably why. But we got like 2,700 views. Which is, you know, I am not like, what am I trying to say? I'm not like a big deal, kids. Right? A new channel. Just recently passed 300 subscribers, so I'm not like, you know, I'm not huge. My channel's not huge. I should, let me correct that statement, because that could be, somebody could clip that out of context. Yes. Coming with white. Yeah, it's kind of got a bit of a ruddy. I was thinking I would just go straight to the guts with like a pink from there. But that could work. We'll try it. I am not set in my ways. Hey, Jonathan, I appreciate it. I don't claim to be the Noob God, but if you're gonna call me the Noob God, hey, I'll take it. The Noob God cares not how well the paint flows, only that it flows. I don't know how many details I want to obsess over here. Because the thing about this underside, if I leave a little bit of that kind of flat red from the primer, it'll just kind of look like dust. Like he fell down in the dirt and he got all dusty. Sorry to the Thousand Suns players who are not watching this, most likely. I did not mean to offend you there with that comment. No, no offense was intended. Okay, yeah, we do gotta get his shell here. And there's some other areas that we need some coverage on. We don't want him to be naked. Yeah, yes. They, I mean, 40K is so on the nose. You think by now the Space Wolves would have a unit that is just a giant vacuum. Like maybe one of their chapter specific dreadnoughts has an attachment that's a vacuum. They could just vacuum up all the dusty boys. That seems to me like that should have happened by now. All right. That overbrush did a fair amount of work, but it missed quite a bit. No, that's a good point. That's a good point, Simon. The doggos fear the vacuum too. Okay, so that's the explanation for why they have not gone that far. Dogs are afraid of vacuums too, so I suppose it doesn't entirely make sense for them to use vacuums as a weapon. We got this little bit of detail here we gotta get. I'm trying not to spill over. It is very balanced. It is very balanced, isn't it? The fireworks PTSD response in their brains. Oh boy. I don't know. The burning of Prospero there's a lot of fireworks there. I'm pretty sure. And that was all the Space Wolves doing, but all right. Let's try to get the last few details here so we can continue making some progress. Oh, that's a bloody stump. Yeah, we're going to have blood going all over the place right there. In fact, could use a little bit of the bloody technical paint on the guts. Let it dry. Then come in and paint the guts. Let that technical paint seep into some of the recesses. And his puddle here needs to be much, much bigger than the other guys, I feel like. What's up, Nicholas, on TikTok? You just left, but I said hi. Nobody on TikTok wants to stay in chat, really, it seems like. They are too cool. Too cool for the Noob God, but you know what? That's okay. Everybody was a noob once. Maybe they've just moved on. That does sound like a guaranteed way to piss off a space wolf. I don't know what would happen after that. Oh, I slimed myself. So that's what I get for just putting paint directly on my working surface. I'm a genius. I deserve that one. I deserve that one, kids. Okay. The benefit of it, though, yeah, I don't know if you can tell. I'll maybe turn the camera slightly. All of this right here, you can see all these bumpy areas. These are globs of paint that I have let dry. So when I'm dry brushing and I need to work the paint off, I can just do it right here. I don't need one of those fancy pants things, whatever they're called. Everything is a good plan if you're not concerned about consequences. That's all I will say on that one, Simon. As someone who has been there and done, well, not done that. No, I haven't done what you're describing. I can neither confirm nor deny what I have or have not done. But there are things that have been done, that were done, and have been done, and will be done. And I am doing that, may in fact be things that I have done. Yeah, and I thought about that too, like having a model, that sort of thing. I did make something with like a piece of cardboard and sprues for a while, but this kind of just naturally happened. And it worked out. It works out for me. Okay. Ooh. That's a big spot there. What is that? On that rock. What did I do? Done diddly do. That's right, Jonathan. I should have put my hair up. I have a long mane. That I need to get out of my face. I would probably fit in well with the Space Wolves, actually, from a visual standpoint. And I am, Viking by heritage, so. Okay, let's check in and see. That would be something that you would not want to confirm nor deny. Okay, we're getting there. And the swirl is kind of there a little bit. It's a little messy in some spots. A little messy here and there. But it could be worse. Okay. Let's swap these guys out. Let that one dry for a little bit. Okay, I'm using too many brushes. I kind of obsessively clean my brushes in between. Like when I switch colors. It's so obsessive that sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm done with this one, and I'll wash it. And then realize that, oh, I wasn't done. I just like compulsively cleaned my brush when I actually didn't even need to. Okay. I'm wondering if I need to go a little bit more detail here. Have a little bit more control over where this goes now. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit better. I can definitely control with this brush a little bit more, so I think this will make sense at this stage. And I think I will want to come back with some white. As you described, I think that would be a worthwhile idea. There we go. That's not looking too bad. There's part of me that's like, hey, it kind of looks like you can almost paint this like a planet, make it look like it's a hologram projector or something. Definitely not what this thing is meant to be, but for whatever reason that popped into my brain. I'm painting so much blue on here that it looks like an ocean. And this side probably needs a fair bit. It is a little bare over here. Slowly but surely, though, we are getting there. I definitely have more patience for this than I did the hazard stripes. Even though the hazard stripes were literally physically printed on. Really what it was the color. It was yellow. It was yellow. I now understand why Imperial Fists players are just so, gosh, maybe that's my problem. I should just become an Imperial Fists YouTube creator, and I just have to post the same tip for how to do Imperial Fists yellow in as few coats as possible, and my channel would blow up because every Imperial Fists player out there would inevitably search for that on YouTube. They all do at some point. Hey, Jonathan, thanks for hanging out. See you next time. I'm only going to be up for a little bit longer anyway, so you're not going to miss a whole lot. I'm going to have to call this one here probably in the next 10, 15 minutes or so. It's probably the worst thing to say during a stream, but Simon, I think it might just be you and me. See, there we go. This side is looking really nice. Just enough of that kind of white streaking. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. This is the side where it's just a little off. It's not quite there. I think we just need a little bit more evenness on there. It's already starting to look better. Wow. It just takes a few thin coats on this stuff. Okay. I like where that's at right now. Probably gonna let that dry. See what it looks like later, and then yeah, we're at a very good stage there. I like it. It gives off the plasma vibes. Yeah, probably not done yet, but getting close. Getting close, that's for sure. Let's see, what can we get done here in the time that we have? Let's see. Not quite ready for metallics here just yet. Well, Wicked Pink. I'm trying to figure out my palette. We're going to be using some blood. What are we all? Where's? Oh, why is that even out? That should be put away. Where did I put? Jeez. Okay. Don't put it down, put it away. Don't put it down, put it away. Don't put it down, put it away. That's like my ADHD mantra that I tell myself. All right. So, whoa. So I'm wondering here, if I spill this over that, then come in, Wicked Pink. What do I have for? Oh, I've got, oh, you know what I've got though that would work really well? I've got magenta tone. Okay. And whenever you use this stuff, the rule is you have to like drip it onto the surface. That is the rule. It'll flatten out, I'm sure. Want to get some, at least, coming from the guts. Whoa. Yep. Because clearly there should be blood coming from those guts. Let's give this guy a little bit bigger pool here. And that will dry with a nice kind of sheen on it. Now the question is metallics. Probably needs some metallic touch-ups on there. I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm tempted to go with silver, obviously, but then it's like, well, that's kind of what I'm doing up here. And that's not dry yet. Mephiston red it is. Let's go kind of the medium-sized one. Medium-sized here. I don't need a whole lot on here, but I don't want it to be too little. Kind of an overbrush. More so than a dry brush. Oh, there are a few wet recesses. I've got to be careful. Let's just get this stuff right here. Man, I underestimated the amount I was going to need. That's okay, actually. I don't mind that. Just need to feather it out. Oh boy. I want those lower areas to stay a little bit darker. So I will not be dragging too much of the Mephiston red down toward the base. And it honestly kind of dried over there before I could get to it. That was brilliant. There we go. That is, got one more side. Should have enough on there. And that's where there's kind of some wet recesses, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I think that's gonna do it for tonight. A wash will really clean that up. It was kind of like we did kind of a weird red zenithal, sort of. But, all right. Well, thank you all for tuning in tonight. I'm going to have to wrap things up here. Kanye just dropped something. Oh, boy. Yeah, Kanye is up to stuff, isn't he? He's always up to something. I know some people get I don't know, really easily offended by Kanye doing stuff. And I do not agree with much of Kanye's viewpoints, but it's kind of like, you know, I think he's doing a lot of it for attention. All right. We're going to call it Wart. Remember, the Noob God cares not from where or how well the paint flows, only that it flows. Paint your minis even if they suck. That's my message for all of you. I love y'all. Have a good one.